Alright, I'm gonna do some Tomb Raider. I've been meaning to do a Tomb Raider. I'm gonna do a new game. I've been meaning to do a Tomb Raider, like, let's play, whatever, walkthrough kind of thing. Like, since it came out, basically. Like, because I really enjoyed this game and I wanted to, like, put it on my channel, like, just, you know, for people who maybe haven't played it or whatever, you know, just to look at it. But now it's kind of an older game, but oh well, better late than never. Last time I played it was on my old computer, and I beat it like a couple times, played it again and again because it was just a lot of fun. It's one of those games that's good enough that you want to go back and play it again, you know what I mean? And anyways, I've got a new computer now that I've had for a little while now, and this computer has DirectX 11 graphics card, you know, and that kind of stuff. So this will be the first time I'm playing with like maxed out settings and truss effects, hair, physics, and all those kind of things, and 60 frames per second. So it'll make for a better video anyways than if I would have recorded it on my old computer, you know. I probably would have had to have all the settings on medium, you know, to keep the frame rate up. So I guess it was meant to be that I never did those videos back in the day. Well, anyways, we get some good cutscenes here. She's about to make the classic action hero leap of faith. There's no way. There's no way he could hold on to her hand. Like, it's wet, slippery, the jump. So anyways, when she slips, she gives him that look like, "You bastard, you actually let go and dropped me." You know, don't give him that look. Like, he'll be thinking like, yeah, she died that day and can't get that look out of my head, you know. He'd be like haunted for life, like scarred, you know. Don't give him that look. That's wrong. You should give him a look like, you did your best. It'll be okay, you know. But no, she goes, "You bastard, you son of a bitch. You dropped me." Alright, here we are at the beach now. She survives. The beach scene here, you know, I started thinking when I first saw this, well, first I was looking at the boobs. After I got done looking at the boobs, first thing I started to think was, this reminds me of Lost, you know, that TV show. You got your shipwreck people, you know, trying to figure out what to do on a deserted island, a mysterious deserted island. You got enemies here that are similar to the others from the TV show Lost, you know. Even the music has like a little bit of that Lost feel to it. Now you'll notice like there's a constant theme in this game where it's like a running gag where the creators of the game figured, let's see how much we can get away with beating the crap out of Lara. She's always getting beat up, like for no good reason, like banging her head against something, falling over a chasm, getting, you know, hurt in so many ways all the time. It's like, I don't know. The guys who made this game really like watching Lara get beat up. You could probably play a drinking game for like, you drink a shot every time Lara gets hurt. You know what I mean? But I mean that's good. Like, you know, like in Die Hard, you know, John McClane, he got really jacked up all the time. He was constantly getting hurt, you know, and cut up and banged up, and by the end of the film, he looked like he'd been through a war, you know, and that's kind of makes it the characters. You can have a little more sympathy for them, you know. You don't want them to get hurt, you know. You feel bad for them, you know, and that happens in this game. You end up getting a little attached to Lara, and you do feel kind of bad for her, always getting banged up all the time.
Get down.
Alright, let's swing this way.
It's gonna hurt.
This will hurt. Don't worry, Lara. You're gonna get hurt a lot. You gotta get used to it. Now she's on fire. And it wouldn't be complete unless she got hurt a little bit more. That thing out. The controller is vibrating like a heartbeat, like thump, 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 thump. She's slipping and falling. And make sure the graphics are cranked all the way up. Ultimate, yeah. Okay.
What is this place?
Who would come in here and light all these candles and keep these fires going? You know what I mean? It's just... I mean, I get that they're worshipping, like, whatever, but still. There's a lot of places like this, you know, and you always see all these candles lit, but you don't ever see anybody in here, like, lighting candles or worshipping. Alright, enough of that. Let's keep moving here. You can try to go through right now while it's still kind of burning, but it kind of knocks you back and hurts you a bit, so you just wait a little bit until the fire goes out. Make your way through.
No, we must...
Shimmy through.
Damn it.
Alright, now whenever you see a red oil drum like that in a video game, you know that means something needs to be blown up, so let's go. Get started on blowing that thing up so we can get through. If you're ever doing a puzzle and you're not sure what to do, you've got like this kind of thing, you know, like this, you know, hint vision. Similar to like Batman, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, you know. And it comes in handy on some of the tougher puzzles. Uh-oh, it's a hobo. You gotta watch out for the bums. They're always trying to like hustle you for coin and whatnot.
Just keep moving.
Oops. Whoops. Come on. With the headphones on, you can really hear her hand rubbing across the rock like probably can't hear it in the video, but the sounds are really good in this game. Alright, she just got completely drenched underwater. Her shirt should be completely soaking wet, so let's see if we can see any nipples there. Nope. Maybe there's an option in the graphics for like transparent t-shirt. No? Alright, worth checking out anyways, just in case. Moving on. Vault again. Alright, explosive barrels blocking the way, so puzzle. Let's figure out the puzzle. Need some fire, of course. You got this pendulum thing here. You got some burnable objects. Let's go ahead and burn burnable objects. There we go. Alright. Now we have a counterweight situation here. So we're going to need to raise the one that's lowered, I'm sure. It's filling up with debris. Alright. Take a look over here. And let's see what happens. There we go. Now some debris in that little cage there. Debris on fire. Give it a shove. There's like, that's a mine, like an underwater landmine type of thing, water mine, whatever you call these things. Man, I feel stupid. I don't know what they call these things. There's a proper name for them. Like a proximity mine. Oops, let's not go that way. I can see light. We're gonna go this way. Oh crap. You can control her right now, so you gotta like dodge things, dodge the sharp sticks and stuff. There we go. Controllers vibrate like crazy. There's ship over here. Is that a ship? Okay. Oh crap. Oh man, it's that bum again. Go away, bum. I ain't got no money. Oh man, she just killed a homeless guy. Lara Croft killed a homeless guy. Uh-oh. Should they reach for that torch the way Indiana Jones would reach for his fedora? QTE scenes. I'm glad this is interactive and not just a cutscene, you know. Gives you something to do. Alright, keep going. Come on. They want to make it feel like you're really struggling to survive here. There we go. Yeah, it would be cool if she had to like reach back for a fedora and they'd play the little Indiana Jones tune. They should make an Indiana Jones game that's like this, you know, that looks and plays like this, but with like an 80s Harrison Ford, you know, like based on the classic Indiana Jones trilogy storyline, where it looks this good, you know, and it plays like this, you know. That would be awesome. I would love that game. They should make that. They've never made any good Indiana Jones games, at least not to my knowledge. You'd think this was like, you know, an Indiana Jones inspired game. I'm not sure. I mean, I know Lara Croft is kind of inspired from Indiana Jones, but this game, if it was inspired by anything, I would say it would be Batman Arkham Asylum, because it has a lot of things in common with that game, which was a great game. And so, you know, if they took, you know, they were smart to take the things from that game that were good and kind of use them, you know. Like you get equipment that upgrades after a while, you know, just like in Batman. It feels like a Batman game basically, but it's more interesting to me than the Batman games.
Okay.
The environment is more attractive. The puzzles are more realistic and interesting. I don't know, I just like it better. The weapons are, of course, more realistic compared to like using bat gadgets and things. It just feels, the character feels, you know, fragile. You know, you don't want her to get hurt. Whereas when you're playing Batman, you're like, oh, I'm Batman. You know, it doesn't matter if you get hurt. But with her, you know, every time they beat the crap out of her, you're like, ouch. You know what I mean? You feel bad for her, you know. Look at her, she's like holding that hole through her body where she was impaled and can't run good. In the game, like when you get really jacked up, there's some actions you can't even do. Like you try to run and like the screen turns red and she gets hurt and you lose life and stuff because she's so beat up, you know what I mean? Like they try to make it seem like she's frail, and that makes her more likable, you know. You know, she's not, you know, impervious to mistakes and damage. Jump! You gotta hang on there. Jump. Come on. But yeah, imagine an Indiana Jones game done in this style. It'd be a lot of fun.
Come on.
And this is kind of taken from like, whoops, this is kind of taken from like Assassin's Creed, you know. Shimmying and climbing. You know, every game since Assassin's Creed has had to have a little bit of that, you know, scaling, parkour, climbing and shimmying around, because it was awesome when that game first came out. You know, there wasn't anything like that before. And you know, this game takes, like, it stands on the shoulders of like some of the great platform games that came before it, and that's one of the reasons it's so good. You know, it takes like the best things from some of the other games that we all love, you know, and it puts it all together in a nice little package. Let's see if I can. Oh, there's no way to do that gently.
They must have come this way.
Now, people who grew up playing Tomb Raider might be thinking like her boobs look too small, because in the game, her boobs, in the old games, her boobs were like, you know, 80,000 kilometers in front of her, like, you know, giant balloons, you know. But I'm glad they didn't make them any bigger than they did. I think that's plenty big enough without looking like, you know, implants or something. You know what I mean? That's good enough, really. All right, here we go. Come on, hang on. Ah, crap. Ow. Yeah, like I said, if you're playing a drinking game, every time she gets hurt, take a shot. You be drunk by now. It's raining. Look, there's a little goodie. Like later you have to try to like shoot all those for like extra. You know, there's always like little bonusy things in games like this, you know. You don't have to do it, but little collectibles and side quests and things. So just remember that's there for later. Right now you don't have any weapons or anything to shoot it with. Now there are mods that will like allow you to have it to where her shirt, when it's wet, see-through, or you know, kind of got like some perkies there when she's cold or whatever. But you know,
Is anyone listening? Please respond.
I don't know if I have it on this one, on this computer. On my other computer I had all the DLC, and there's like 3 different, maybe 4 different costumes, and actually she has one that's like the aviator costume, and I actually like that one the best. It's like a brown leather, old 50s style, you know, flight suit guy, pilot jacket, whatever you call it, that has like a little bit of fur collar at the top, you know, and it kind of has a more of an Indiana Jones look to it than the rest of her outfits, and that was actually my favorite one. And it seemed to make the most sense because 99% of the time in this game you're in an area where it would look really cold, where she should be wearing a jacket, you know. I think she might have had an outfit like that in like one of the old Tomb Raiders, but I never played too much of the old Tomb Raiders, not because they weren't awesome games, but just because I didn't have them. When I was growing up, you know, I only could get so many games, you know, I wasn't made of money, and I had to pick my favorites, and I ended up picking games like Street Fighter type of games, Mortal Kombats, and whatever, you know. I guess during the PlayStation era, I had games like Gran Turismo, Ace Combat, Final Fantasy games, things like that, and, you know, that kind of stuff. Doom. I did have Tomb Raider 1, but I never got Tomb Raider 2 or 3 or any of this. I've played a couple of the more recent releases, like, what was it? I forgot what it's called, but, you know, the one that came before this one, it was a lot of fun. But this one just blows everything else out of the water. I'm going to skip this cutscene. It's kind of boring, actually, so I'm going to go ahead and skip it. I mean, if you're playing this game, you should watch all the cutscenes and everything, take your time. But, you know, just for YouTube purposes, I'm going to go ahead and try to find convenient places to end the videos for like part 1. And with that, I think this is a good spot. So this is the end of part 1. She's going to need to find food.